Anna had always dreamed of a perfect love story. She was young, beautiful, and full of life. When she met David, she believed she had found her soulmate. He was everything she had ever wanted, kind, intelligent, and loving. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. He made her feel special, and when he proposed, she thought she was the luckiest woman in the world. Their wedding day was like something out of a fairy tale. The church was decorated with white roses, the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the guests were dressed in their finest clothes. Anna walked down the aisle in a stunning white gown, her heart racing with excitement. She saw David standing at the altar, looking at her with love in his eyes. As they exchanged vows, Anna felt tears of joy well up in her eyes. She promised to love and cherish David forever, and he promised the same to her. The guests clapped, and they sealed their vows with a kiss. At that moment, Anna felt like the happiest woman in the world. After the ceremony, the reception began. There was laughter, dancing, and joy. Anna and David sat at the head table, surrounded by friends and family. They fed each other cake, shared sweet kisses, and talked about their future. Everything felt perfect until something unexpected happened. A woman entered the hall, holding the hand of a little boy. She wore a simple blue dress, and her face held a serious expression. The room slowly became silent as she walked toward Anna and David. "David," the woman said in a firm voice. "We need to talk." David's face turned pale. Anna noticed the sudden fear in his eyes. She looked at the woman, then at the little boy, confused. "Who is she?" Anna asked softly. "And who is this child?" David hesitated, but before he could speak, the woman answered. "My name is Lisa," she said. "And this is Ethan, David's son." Anna's heart stopped. The words echoed in her head. She stared at the little boy, who looked up at her with innocent eyes. He had David's dark eyes and the same gentle smile. Her hands started shaking. She turned to David, hoping he would deny it, hoping this was some mistake. But David lowered his head and sighed. "It's true, Anna," he admitted. "Ethan is my son." The shock hit Anna like a storm. She could hear the guests whispering, their voices a mix of surprise and confusion. "You have a child," she whispered. "And you never told me?" "I was going to tell you," David said, his voice weak. "But I didn't know how. I was afraid you would leave me." Lisa shook her head and sighed. "I didn't come here to ruin your wedding, Anna. But you deserve the truth. Ethan is David's son, and he has a responsibility to him." Anna felt dizzy. Her wedding day, the day she had dreamed of since she was a little girl, was turning into a nightmare. She looked at the little boy again. He was innocent. He had nothing to do with this. But how could David have kept something so important from her? She turned back to David. "How could you do this to me? We were supposed to start a life together, and you kept this secret until our wedding day." David reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "I love you, Anna," he pleaded. "I was just afraid. I didn't want to lose you." "But you have already lost my trust," she replied, her voice breaking. Tears ran down her cheeks. She looked at the wedding ring on her finger, the symbol of love and trust. But now it felt like a lie. The guests were still whispering. Some looked at David with disappointment, others at Anna with sympathy. The happiness of the night had turned into shock. Anna felt embarrassed, betrayed, and heartbroken. She needed air. She needed to think. Without another word, she turned and walked out of the wedding hall. The cold night air hit her face, but she kept walking. Her heart was heavy, and her mind was filled with questions. David followed her outside. "Anna, please," he said, his voice desperate. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you." She turned around, her eyes filled with pain. Love is built on honesty, David, she said. If you truly loved me, you would have told me the truth from the beginning. David took a deep breath. I was scared, he admitted. I met Lisa years ago, before I met you. We were together for a short time, but we were never in love. When she told me she was pregnant, I was shocked. I tried to be there for my son, but I didn't want my past to ruin my future with you. Anna wiped her tears. But keeping it a secret did ruin us, David. She looked at him, searching for an answer in his eyes. Did you think I would never find out? Did you think I wouldn't have accepted your son if you had been honest? David was silent. He had no answer. Anna shook her head. I need time, she said finally. I need to think. David's eyes filled with sadness. I'll wait for you, he said. No matter how long it takes, I'll wait. Anna didn't respond. She turned and walked away, unsure of what the future held. She didn't know if she could forgive David. She didn't know if she could trust him again. But one thing was certain, her perfect wedding had turned into a painful truth she never expected. Subscribe and comment your opinion.